advance to the Western Conference Finals against Ants and the Wolves. The Final Four in the NBA is set. Knicks, Pacers, Wolves, and the Thunder. Final Four in the NHL is now set. Panthers and Hurricanes, Oilers and Stars. Scottie Scheffler wins the PGA. Brock Purdy's really rich. Good morning, Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you.
When is it ever going to happen for the Maple Leafs? Like, when is it ever going to happen?
Not in a Game 7, that's for sure.
I'm just talking, my God.
6-1?
When we talk about cursed franchises, we don't bring them up enough.
Yeah, they buying real estate in Hardenville, too.
No doubt, the entire franchise.
They are buying real estate in Hardenville, too. I'm just saying. Austin Matthews, come on, bro. Come on, we waiting.
Seriously.
We waiting.
All right, I think we're done with the hockey for now. The Thunder.
It's brutal, though, for Toronto.
What's with these Game 7 blowouts? If you think about since the Super Bowl, now that like the final game blowout in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? We have a blowout yesterday with the Thunder and the Nuggets. We have a blowout yesterday with the Panthers and the Leafs. There's probably other final game blowouts that I'm missing here.
Yep.
That seems odd to me. I feel like if you're in a Game 7, you're in a Super Bowl, you're in a championship.
We had a blowout in the national championship with Ohio State, right? That wasn't a closely contested game.
Yeah, now I'm forgetting that. I think I'm losing my mind now.
Oh, yeah, didn't UConn blow out South Carolina?
That wasn't a close game.
UConn, in the women's national championship? Yeah. Florida was close, right, in the championship-ish?
Close.
For part of it?
Ish.
What's happening here? Why do we have blowouts in final games?
Bizarre.
We've picked up a theme out of nowhere. 6-1? I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell the audience that I watched the Panthers and the Leafs last night. I did not.
Yeah.
And when I woke up this morning and I'm listening to... because you guys were all
We're
over
talking
that.
hockey.
We figured that out.
Yeah. It was Toronto's
All right, Stella Harrington. I know what you were talking about yesterday.
Speaking of which, I mean, Denzel and Othello was unbelievable.
I can't believe you saw it.
Unbelievable.
How was Gyllenhaal?
He was awesome.
Really?
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal has fell into this shtick where you hate him.
Why?
In everything that he's in. He's such a good actor.
Yeah,
Not him.
That you fall into the drama that you're watching and you end up hating him. Like we saw it with Presumed Innocence on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
he was great in that.
He certainly was that in Othello. Like he just falls into these roles where he's the villain. And you're just like, man, I really hate this guy. And then after it was like, man, Jake Gyllenhaal was really great. It was compelling. I mean, I'm sitting there stewing when we walked into the theater because they make me check my phone at the door. It's one of those plays where you have to put it in a pouch and they seal it.
Oh, yeah.
And then they don't let you get your phone until after the show.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm dying to figure out what the score of the game is. And at
you didn't miss much.
Yeah, and the whole time I'm sitting there thinking about, man, how did my wife rope me into this? We got Game 7 of the Western Conference semis between the Denver Nuggets and OKC, the MVP versus the best player in the world, and I'm not able to watch it because I'm sitting here in the theater on Broadway watching Othello. And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks. And then I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, that was an awesome, awesome play. A lot more drama in the play than what we got in Game 7,
yeah,
for sure.
Your play was more compelling than the game, for sure.
No doubt about it. I mean, here's the thing. Denzel never disappoints. Jake Gyllenhaal did his thing.
That's why I asked about Gyllenhaal on Broadway, because you know that Denzel, whatever the stage, whatever the medium, is going to bring the heat.
Yeah.
He's one of the best actors of our entire generation.
Unfortunately, Nikola Jokic, not so much.
What would have happened if it was a one-point game-winning shot? Aaron Gordon, who I told Nuno, I could do 4 hours on Aaron Gordon and my love for this guy. He is unbelievable.
You do love him.
Why is that a what? This guy deserves so much credit. He played through a grade 2 hamstring injury that Sham Sharpe, ESPN senior NBA reporter, reported yesterday that it's a month injury. And he didn't miss a game. The guy's amazing. But what would have happened in the Canty household? Because this happens to 99% of the people listening right now. Mm-hmm. We all have conflicts in life. Yes. We all have pre-scheduled things like, oh my God, I got tickets to this, or the kids have that, or we have a religious event that we have to go to. And then you're like, wait a minute, what time's it? The game, what? The game, that conversation where you don't even finish the words and sentences happened. What happened? Nuggets win. Aaron Gordon game-winning shot, and you're in Othello. How is the reaction in the Canty household afterwards? You have to go for a walk. I mean, you could always watch it back, obviously.
I mean, it is Othello.
My wife would owe me a good meal. That would have to be
home cooked, not taking you out to
home cooked. She
Got
would
it.
owe me a good meal
That night? Like, when's the buffer window?
Maybe not that night, but at some point over the next few days. She's got.
So it's like a 1 week.
She's got to find a way to make it right.
It's like when you work a holiday, you have the 2-week window.
Yes,
Like you can take the comp day. I mean,
exactly.
But what you had yesterday is the most relatable thing.
No doubt.
The amount of times people miss things because of pre-scheduled things. It happens every day of our lives.
In her defense, she's like, we had this plan for months.
Yeah.
Well, how are you going to know Nuggets Thunder Game 7?
That's my point. We didn't know. So she's like, we're not going to build our lives based on whether or not OKC Denver goes 7. We're just not going to do that. And I'm just like, well, baby, you do realize this is what I do for a living. I have to watch the games.
Yeah, but that's a once-in-a-lifetime ticket,
There's always a game.
There's always a game.
There's always a game for
a
us.
game.
So she's got to plan your life as if there's not going to be a game. She can't just always be waiting for that because there's always going to be a game for us.
Plus, she knows she got to get it in these next several months because football season is right around the corner.
That's right.
And we ain't missing no games.
No.
We ain't missing no games during football season.
You know what's funny about this? We have complained on our show because we host in the mornings, obviously, and you, if you're watching and listening, you're up with us. Thank you for doing that. We complain about the late games. We're like, oh, God, why can't they have these earlier? Yesterday they gave us that, and you would have rather the late game. Think about it.
I loved it in the afternoon. It was great.
And you're right. You're right. You're absolutely
we complain
right.
about it a lot.
I think the sweet spot is the 6:30 start.
Yeah, we ain't getting that.
I know.
It's either 3:30 or 8:30 Eastern.
I thought
That's the
3:30
sweet
is
spot.
better. I know you had a prior engagement, but 3:30 to be wrapped up and have our evening free, that's very rare for us.
Yeah,
it was
that
wonderful.
Was good. That was good.
Yeah, but the 3:30 on the weekend, though, you have so many things that you want to do. We got all this beautiful daylight outside now.
I know, that is true.
Now that we're getting into the summer months.
That is true.
And the sun's not going down till 9 o'clock. You want to be outside. You want to be able to take advantage of the weekend afternoon time.
That's true.
I don't want to be inside watching a game.
Especially a game like that. Where
That's
that
what
compelling.
I'm saying, Smalls. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it was compelling early. I mean, the Nuggets were up early. The Nuggets were up early, and there was a 1-point game with 3 minutes to go, 3+ minutes to go in the second quarter, and then Oklahoma City just annihilated them after that, and they win 125-93. I thought Jalen Williams at the end of the second quarter was the key, attacking to the basket, and was excellent there.
Well, he owed his team that, though, right?
Yeah, he was bad in game 6.
Yeah, he was absolutely awful.
SGA with 35 points in this game, and now they advance the Western Conference Finals. Sam Presti gets to another Western Conference Finals here. I think he's been as the executive, to 3, if I'm not mistaken? One more than someone else.
Than who, Evan?
Daryl Morey, who tells you how great he is all the time in Philadelphia.
I'm pretty good at the winning thing.
No, you're not! Don't do this to me, Pat!
I'm pretty good at the winning thing.
Oh, now we have the drop.
I love that.
I already had a whole conversation with Hembo about it today.
That someone else's success can always be tied back to your perceived deficiencies with Daryl Morey's resume.
It's not that. Can you imagine if we came on the air and we're like, our show clearly longer running than Mike and Mike? No, it's not. It's just factually not. Could you imagine us saying, we've had a longer run than Mike and Mike? No, we haven't. Hopefully we will, because we love them, and we have, but the point is, when somebody's factually incorrect, it's ridiculous to me. Anyway.
I love it.
I know.
It'll never get old.
I love that no matter what we do,
So
Evan can tie it back to his disdain.
His sports hate for Daryl Morey knows no bounds.
Is that number 1 on your list?
I'm drenched in sweat. It is so hot in here.
Oh, I think it feels wonderful.
Oh, my God.
Do you have more sports hate for any other person?
It's not him.
Daryl Morey?
It's his words.
It is him. It is him. It is him.
You don't like his whole deal.
Listen, you are the consummate professional. This feels personal.
It does feel personal with Daryl Morey.
I'm not saying it is. I've
never met him.
I'm just telling you it feels
He probably
personal.
win me over in 4 seconds.
He acts like he's so transcendent that he's smarter than everybody else? Is that why you don't like him? Yeah, thank you. That's the word.
He is.
He sees things that nobody else sees in terms of traits that lead to high-level winning, all of that stuff. Is that what it is?
It may be, but I think
is it because he believes he's seeing ahead of a curve?
He does.
Even though he's never gotten there?
Get money. Sorry, I'm going to...
Please explain the Daryl Morey sports.
I don't like the people that claim that they're something that they're not. I'm very big on just claim you are what you are.
So is that your number 1 sports hate, Daryl Morey? Cece, who's yours? We all know mine.
Okay, the Cronkies is yours?
Mm-hmm. Denver lost? What a shame.
Yeah. I don't know what this allegiance is to Michael Porter Jr. I don't know what the allegiance is. Well, okay.
It's Mizzou.
But that's not enough. And, I should have the allegiance to him because people have said I look like Michael Porter Jr.
I'm sorry,
big deal.
who said that?
Millions
Who
of
said
people.
that?
Millions. Maybe not currently, but it's...
Who said that?
Why you got to do that to me?
No one said that.
I look more like Aaron Gordon. I know. Yeah, thank you.
No one said you look like Michael Porter Jr.
Nobody said that.
It's been said. I literally was said to me yesterday. Literally yesterday. Anyway, point is,
when you were looking in the mirror,
he gotta go. He gotta go. Start the Kevin Durant rumors now. He gotta go. That's not fair to Jokic. That dude does nothing in big games. As Aaron Gordon is literally without a leg, basically, playing basketball, rebounding the ball. Michael Porter Jr. does nothing. And the Thunder now advance. And this Thunder T-Wolves matchup is going to be awesome. Mm-hmm. It is going to be awesome. Back and forth. I'd be stunned, absolutely stunned, if either series finished in 5 games or less. Stunned. These are 2 6 or 7 game series. If you told me 2 7-game series, I believe it. I'm now almost at a point where if it went less than 7 in both series, I'd be surprised. Is there a clear-cut favorite in either one of these in your mind?
No, I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite in either conference finals. But I thought yesterday's game between Denver and OKC had a lot more to do with Denver than it did OKC. Now, credit to OKC. They won the Game 7, the team that didn't have any experience. When you looked at it collectively, they only had 3 games of Game 7 experience on the entire roster. Mm-hmm. They found a way to win in emphatic fashion after a disappointing Game 6. And, of course, Jalen Williams stepped up in a huge way after going 3 of 16 in Game 6. So credit to them for being able to take care of their business. They've made that next step. There's the incremental improvement. They got bounced in the second round last year. Now they're in the championship round, so kudos to them. To me, everything on top of this is gravy for OKC. Conversely, I do think there are major changes in Denver that are in store. As we know as professional athletes, it first starts with the head coach and the general manager, and then after that, the changes start to trickle down to the players in the locker room. I think there's going to be significant player movement in Denver to try to take advantage of Nikola Jokic while he's at the height of his powers.
They should.
They will. They definitely will. But there's something else around Denver we have to get to because we're applying logic to some teams that we're not using with Denver. We will get to that as we continue the conversations moving forward with Denver. But go New York.
Chị hỏi nghe đi con chị hôm qua đổ xưa đậu uống tập nó pha bia đá. Đây đúng không? Sư của nó rồi.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn làm đèn và vòng tay và tiêu đề là đèn lồng. Sắp đi. Con là cái con này.
Cái bàn bẩn lắm rồi chúng mẹ.
Ra cái bàn này.
Để trông con gọt á.
Bẩn lắm rồi đấy, lau đi.
Nhìn trông nó sộn này ai bảo.
Không sợ tự nhiên dọn làm việc nó bội.
Đâu bàn này quên sạch lắm rồi.
Nó bảo là bừa bộn nó không muốn lo. Bàn làm việc chúng mày bừa tại chúng mày chứ.
Đây cái bàn này quên này sạch lắm rồi.
Bây giờ nó quay xong vỏ sò nha các bạn nhé. Nếu như bạn xem thì hãy đăng ký kênh lại của mình nha.
Không bé ơi.
Anh có vợ rồi. Lên camera lên xem anh có vợ rồi. Mọi người bây giờ đến màu xanh nha. Mai Long làm tí nữa để cho một cái điểm gì. Giờ đi đây, 9:15 về đây. Long.
Đi về không má.
Về gì?
Về không má.
Mày lên chụp ảnh kỹ yếu với nó này, đi sớm đi. 10 giờ lên. 10 giờ lên chụp sỏi tay gì vậy?